Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something today. You see, society's got this thing profoundly twisted. They look at a woman who lives alone, ain't got no man in the house, and immediately whisper, something must be wrong. She must be lonely, she must be sad, she must be desperately incomplete. This narrative, peddled especially by those who barely grasp a woman's true worth, paints a picture of a soul sitting by the window every night, teary-eyed, counting down the minutes until some prince comes knocking. But man, please, let me tell you something vital right now. There's a chasm, a vast difference between being merely alone and feeling truly lonely. A woman who consciously chooses to live her life solo, without a man in her bed, without someone constantly blowing up her phone, without the emotional drain of some half-committed, confusing nonsense. She isn't weak, she ain't broken, she isn't pitiful. Oh no, she is forged steel. She is resilient, she is undeniably brilliant, she is laser-focused. Just imagine the sheer, raw strength it takes to rise every single morning, tackle your bills, handle your business, prepare your own nourishing meal, walk into your quiet home, and not crave a single soul to validate your existence or brighten your day. Do you comprehend the profound confidence required to sit with your own self, by yourself, and still feel utterly, magnificently complete? That's not a sign of weakness, baby. That is absolute, undeniable power. Now, why do some women embrace this solitude? It's simple. They refuse to settle. They've weathered countless storms, seen the chaotic messes, faced the heartbreak, and unequivocally decided they will not repeat that cycle, not just to have a warm body beside them. Some of you understand this intimately. You've experienced the chilling irony of having a man physically next to you, only to feel a profound, aching loneliness far deeper than when the bed lay completely empty. So now, with newfound wisdom, your spirit declares, if I am to be alone, then I shall be gloriously happy about it. That woman who walks into her quiet sanctuary, gently lights a calming candle, pours herself a well-deserved glass of wine, and drifts into her carefully curated playlist. She is not lonely. She is not wistfully wishing for a man who would only stress her out, draining her precious energy. Instead, she is fiercely reclaiming her sacred space. She is meticulously constructing her true self, brick by purposeful brick. She is diligently learning to fall deeply in love with her own magnificent company. And let me be clear, not everyone is equipped for the profound journey of solitude. Many individuals cannot bear to sit with themselves. They desperately crave constant noise, external attention, unending validation, someone always present. But a woman who thrives living alone, never feeling less than, who can wake with the dawn and genuinely not need a good morning beautiful from an inconsistent, half-hearted presence. That woman is not just a woman. She is a true warrior standing on her own battleground, victorious. Now please don't misunderstand me. There is absolutely nothing wrong with desiring companionship. We are wired for connection, we crave love, deep connection, meaningful partnership. But there's a treacherous trap, a subtle, soul-stealing snare, needing it to feel worthy. You, my dear, should never, ever need another person to validate your intrinsic worth or to tell you that you matter. A woman who consciously chooses solitude, who fiercely protects her peace over the endless churn of confusion and chaos, who doesn't scramble to fill an empty space with just anyone. That's a woman who intimately knows her profound value. She isn't waiting on any knight in shining armor to rescue her. She is her own powerful rescue. She isn't passively waiting to be chosen. She actively chooses herself, her well-being, her destiny, every single day. And here's another truth. A woman who lives alone becomes dangerous, in the most magnificent way possible. Because once you unequivocally prove to yourself that you can not only survive, but thrive entirely on your own, once you genuinely internalize that you don't need someone to split the rent, or lift your spirits, or cook your dinner, then love itself transforms. It shifts from a desperate need into an empowered choice. And that, my friends, is the healthiest, most authentic kind of love. It's the kind of love where you arrive as a complete, radiant being, declaring, I am whole already, magnificent in my own right. But if we are to journey together, then let us build something truly extraordinary, something that elevates both our spirits. The world, in its flawed wisdom, constantly bombards women with the message that they require a man to feel secure, to be truly settled. But allow me to flip that archaic script for you entirely. A woman who has absolutely no need for a man in her life is, in fact, the most deeply secure woman on this earth. She doesn't fall blindly for just any fleeting smile, any silver-tongued, smooth talk. Oh no, she carries thoughtful questions in her mind, unshakable standards in her heart, and an unyielding, hard-won peace in her soul, and she would never, ever surrender that precious trifecta for merely a warm body. People glance at a single woman and with a judgmental sigh ask, why is she still alone? But those with true insight, the real ones, they understand a profound truth. She isn't still alone, held back by fate or circumstance. She is intentionally alone. There's a crucial distinction between being simply overlooked and being profoundly unavailable. And trust me on this, she is blissfully unavailable to nonsense, fiercely unavailable to draining drama, unapologetically unavailable to part-time, half-hearted love. That's not loneliness casting a shadow over her. That, my dear, is pure, unadulterated discernment, shining bright. So the next time your eyes fall upon a woman who lives alone, don't you dare, for a single second, assume she is incomplete. Don't you dare cast a pitying glance her way, thinking she is somehow lacking. Because she's not lacking anything, friend. She is living, truly, vibrantly, passionately living. She is beyond fine. She is probably better than fine. She is in the thrilling process of excavating the depths of her soul, discovering every nuanced layer of what she deeply loves, relentlessly defining who she authentically is, and drawing a fiercely unyielding line around what she will never settle for again. She is not passively waiting for happiness to materialize in the shape of a man. Oh no, she is the happiness, she is the grounding home, she is the profound, unbreakable peace. And anyone who dares to step into the sacred sanctuary of her life better come with the utmost integrity, prepared to truly contribute. Because she has already unequivocally proven she can stand taller, stronger, and more vibrantly on her own than most could ever dream. Let me share a profound truth, a declaration I want etched into your very soul, loud and unmistakably clear. Peace is not just valuable, peace is priceless. It surpasses the superficial glamour of many partnerships. I'm talking about that deep, soul-sustaining peace, the kind that brings quiet to the drama, profound rest to your weary spirit. And let me assure you, any relationship, absolutely any connection that consistently demands your peace as its price, it is tragically, disastrously too expensive. Too many walk into relationships for all the wrong reasons. They jump into a union because they're simply weary of solitude, burdened by societal pressure, or haunted by the echoes of, "You should be married by now. You must have someone by your side." So, what do? They frantically grab whoever is merely available, rather than patiently waiting for who is truly right. And the heartbreaking consequence, they find themselves entangled in ceaseless chaos, debilitating confusion, a relentless barrage of stress, day in and day out. You find your very soul feeling utterly depleted, wondering why. I am here to tell you, with absolute certainty, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, more profoundly lonely than being with the wrong person. You believe being alone is tough? Try stepping into a home shared with someone who utterly fails to respect you. Try pouring your heart into a person who relentlessly exploits your kindness, leaving you hollow. Try enduring endless arguments week after week, constantly battling to be seen, tirelessly begging for basic consistency. Then ask yourself, is that fractured, demanding partnership truly worth the sacred sanctuary of your peace? Absolutely not. It is imperative that you guard your peace as if it were your most invaluable, irreplaceable treasure, because, my dear, it is. Peace is the bedrock upon which you find genuine sleep at night. Peace is the quiet joy that lets you smile, even when no one else is around. Peace is the harmonious state where your mind is finally calm, your spirit is beautifully settled, and your heart is not engaged in a daily desperate war just to stay intact. So, when you encounter a woman who chooses to live alone, who stands unattached by choice, more often than not, she isn't pining for love she lacks. She is reveling in the glorious abundance of her peace. She has navigated enough turbulent waters, endured enough broken promises, to intrinsically understand that a man who introduces stress, weaves a web of lies, injects insecurity, and embodies maddening inconsistency, he is no blessing. He is a full-blown hurricane. And once you've painstakingly cultivated that sacred, fragile peace within your life, building it brick by deliberate brick, you simply cannot permit just anyone to saunter in and start violently rearranging your painstakingly placed emotional furniture. Too many tragically chase partnership as if it were some magical cure. If I could just find a relationship, they rationalize, I would finally be happy. Let me cut through that illusion for you, unequivocally. No, you won't. Not if that person systematically dismantles and disrupts your hard-won peace. True, lasting happiness is never found in another person. It is discovered, nurtured, and celebrated within your own unshakable wholeness. If someone walks into the delicate ecosystem of your life and throws your entire spiritual balance into disarray, unsettling the very ground you stand on, they are not a partner, my dear. They are an existential problem dressed up in temporary charm. And ladies, I need you to truly absorb this. Having a man in your life should feel like adding a gourmet seasoning to an already exquisite meal. He should enhance your flavor, not overpower your essence. He should support your journey, not seek to control your path. If his mere presence consistently leaves you more anxious than calm, more deeply confused than gloriously clear, then, my love, he is unequivocally not your person. He's simply a placeholder, occupying the precious space where your hard-won peace once resided. I have witnessed countless powerful women attempt to fix broken men, to shoulder the crushing weight of dysfunctional relationships, all to cling desperately to the titles of girlfriend or wife. And what's the cost? They vanish, bit by bit, losing their own vibrant selves. They walk on invisible eggshells within the very walls of their supposed home, forever cautious, forever small. And for what unbearable price? Just so they don't have to utter the word single. That's not a relationship, dear one. That's a devastating spiritual eviction. You've willingly thrown your own cherished peace out the door, making a gaping void for pure, unadulterated chaos. Let me pierce straight through to the heart of it. If peace packed its bags and drama swaggered in, why would you ever remain? If you cannot be your authentic, unburdened self around someone, if you cannot truly breathe, genuinely rest, profoundly grow, why then are you still tragically calling that love? That, my fierce and magnificent sisters, is not love. That is a cunning, soul-binding trap. And you, in every fiber of your being, are infinitely better than that. Now let's be crystal clear. I absolutely believe in true, profound love. I believe in a genuine, equitable partnership that uplifts and sustains, but the kind of love truly worth cultivating will never, ever mess with your brilliant mind. It won't diminish your glorious spirit or make you feel small. It certainly won't leave you constantly questioning your own inherent worth every single day. Real love, authentic love, feels like a sanctuary. It feels profoundly safe. It feels serenely calm. It feels undeniably like coming home to yourself. And if it doesn't wrap you in that profound embrace, then darling, it is simply not meant for you. A peaceful, solitary life is far from boring. It's not empty. It is abundantly rich. It is breathtakingly beautiful. It is overflowing with precious moments where you can truly hear the gentle whispers of your own thoughts, where you can gaze into the mirror and truly like the woman staring back, where you can walk into your own home, finally, and completely exhale. Not brace yourself, heart pounding, for the next agonizing argument. So when a powerful woman courageously chooses unwavering peace over a merely present partnership, she is not surrendering, she is not quitting, she is leveling up unequivocally. She's declaring, not just to the world, but to her own magnificent soul, I don't need someone simply to say, I have someone. I demand someone who will not, under any circumstances, stride into this carefully constructed life and disrupt the sanctuary I have meticulously built. That, my dears, is not being picky. That is the sacred, life-affirming art of discernment. And let me tell you, discernment doesn't just save feelings, it saves lives, mentally, emotionally, and profoundly spiritually. So let them gossip, let them whisper that you're too independent, too strong, too discerning, too whatever. What you are is too infinitely wise to ever again trade your precious, hard-won peace for predictable pain. You've walked that path, you've borne that burden, you've learned the soul-crushing lessons, and now you unequivocally know peace is the ultimate priority. Every single thing else is a joyous, optional addition. Let me simplify a profound truth for you today. Being selective is absolutely not a weakness. It is an unshakable strength. It is not a flaw to be corrected. It is a sacred gift. It is not about you being too picky. It is about you intimately knowing, profoundly embracing your boundless, undeniable value. In a world desperately trying to convince you to settle for less, to shrink your magnificent spirit, to accept anything that comes along simply to check a box and say you got somebody, being selective is revolutionary power. Observe the immense pressure women face, constantly pushed to rush into relationships as if love were a frantic, unwinnable race. People plunge into ill-advised situationships with individuals they barely know, driven by an exhaustion with solitude or worse, a paralyzing fear of family judgment at the next holiday gathering. Girl, when are you going to bring somebody home? As if your entire, magnificent worth is hinged solely upon whether or not you can present a man. But allow me to drop a truth bomb on you. A woman who is single by resolute choice, who gracefully declines incessant offers, who isn't nodding yes to every sweet-talking charmer sliding into her DMs, that woman is not stuck up. She's not hardened by bitterness. She is far from cold. She is profoundly smart. She is exquisitely careful. She is brilliantly selective. And that, baby, is the very essence of power. Have you ever stepped into a truly high-end boutique? You won't find a single discount sign hanging, no dusty clearance rack. Why? Because genuine quality does not beg to be chosen. It doesn't chase. It stands in its inherent worth. It understands its profound value, knows exactly what it brings. And if you cannot genuinely afford it, metaphorically speaking, then it's perfectly fine to keep walking. That precisely is how a woman of extraordinary value carries herself. She knows the boundless riches she brings to any table. Her serene peace, her burning ambition, her tender softness, her relentless hustle, her insightful mind, her deep, unconditional love, and she is simply not going to allow just anybody to pull up a chair. You must earn that seat. You must approach with integrity. You must be prepared to match her vibrant energy, not siphon it away. I understand. Sometimes people try to shame you, make you feel guilty for saying no. They imply you're obligated to give someone a chance just because they express interest. But what about your interest? What about whether they are truly qualified, not just to stand next to you, but to build with you? Some individuals present beautifully, they look good, sound good, feel good for a fleeting moment. But when you dig a little deeper beneath the surface, you unveil a disturbing truth. They are inconsistent, unintentional, profoundly unready. So what's your move? You gracefully move on, not because you are hard to please, but because you possess the self-respect to refuse to be played. Selective women are constantly branded with too much, too confident, too independent, too high standards. Let me unequivocally tell you something. You are not too much. They are simply not enough. Have you ever truly paused to notice the stark, frustrating hypocrisy? The world consistently encourages men to be fiercely ambitious, to relentlessly chase success, to cultivate unwavering standards in all aspects of life. But when a woman dares to apply that exact same discerning principle to her love life, suddenly, inexplicably, she's labeled difficult. No, darling, that oppressive double standard has to be absolutely shattered. If a man is not only permitted but celebrated for choosing wisely, then a woman possesses every single right to do the exact same. You are absolutely not obligated to entertain someone merely because they graced your presence. Showing up is simply the entry fee. It is not, and never will be, enough. It's how they move in the quiet moments, how they consistently treat you when no one is watching, how they genuinely make you feel when the dazzling spotlight dims. That is what profoundly matters. And let me illuminate the glorious transformation that unfolds when you definitively stop settling. You don't just get peace, you embody an unshakable, foundational peace. You don't just get clarity, you possess crystal clear, intuitive clarity. You begin to magnetize a wholly different caliber of energy because you have sovereignly raised your own bar, and those who genuinely aspire to be part of your elevated life must now rise, with intention and effort, to meet it. You are no longer trapped in the exhausting carousel of toxic cycles. You are not weeping yourself to sleep over someone who demonstrably never deserved the treasure of your tears. You are not begging for overdue text messages, for bare minimum honesty, for a flicker of effort. You are majestically walking in unshaken dignity, in radiant confidence, in undeniable power. People, tragically, adore casting singleness as some sort of arduous punishment, a barren waiting period. But I declare to you, singleness is not punishment, it is powerful preparation. It is a sacred, transformative season where you meticulously construct a foundation for yourself so utterly unshakable, so undeniably solid that no external force or fickle person can ever hope to tear you down. It's in this profound solitude that you unearth your truest desires, articulate your deepest needs, and solidify the unyielding boundaries of what you will never tolerate again. That consecrated time alone, that's precisely where your exquisite standards are born. That's where your intuitive discernment blossoms into an unstoppable force. So, when someone truly worthy eventually enters your orbit, you are not making decisions from a place of raw desperation. No, you are deciding from a deep wellspring of hard-won wisdom. You are no longer anxiously questioning, does he like me? Instead, your empowered inquiry shifts. Do I feel truly safe here? Do I feel authentically seen and cherished here? Does this man genuinely enrich and elevate my life? Or does he merely introduce needless complications? That, my queen, is the ultimate liberating power of being unapologetically selective. In this newfound wisdom, you transform your perception of rejection itself. It ceases to be a loss, a blow to your ego. Instead, you powerfully recognize it as divine redirection, a compassionate guiding hand moving you precisely where you need to be. You internalize, with crystal clarity, that what is genuinely meant for you will never demand you to shrink your vibrant spirit, or to quietly tolerate blatant disrespect, or to grudgingly settle for anything less than extraordinary. So yes, some unenlightened souls won't grasp it. They'll mockingly declare you're too hard to please. They'll sneer that your standards are unrealistically high. But hear me now, with the weight of absolute truth. Do not ever permit their ignorant chatter to coax you out of your hard-won peace, out of your undeniable sacred worth. The right one, when he finally arrives, will not merely meet your standards. He will reverently appreciate the very fact that you possess them. He will respect you more, not less, precisely because you had the wisdom and the courage to discern, to guard the gates of your heart against just anybody. Being selective is not about seeking some impossible perfection. It is a profound act of self-love, about fiercely protecting your precious energy, valiantly safeguarding your glorious future, and tenderly shielding your magnificent heart. And if that unwavering commitment means courageously saying no to 9, so you can confidently, gloriously say yes to the one who truly aligns, then baby, unleash that no with fierce conviction every single time. Now, let me impress upon you a profound, liberating truth that more people desperately need to hear. You are not a fragmented being, not half a person, waiting patiently for someone else to finally arrive and somehow make you whole. You are not a solitary puzzle piece aimlessly searching for its missing match. My dear, you are already exquisitely complete. You are already inherently enough, already profoundly valuable, precisely, magnificently as you are. And if no one else has gifted you that essential affirmation today, then hear it now from me. We've been fed a seductive, yet deeply damaging, lie. The silver screens, the best-selling novels, the saccharine love songs, they all parrot this narrative of you complete me. They paint love as some grand rescue mission, suggesting you aren't truly somebody until another person appears to fill in your perceived gaps. While it makes for captivating cinematic drama in the unfiltered reality of life, if you walk through your days believing you aren't whole until someone else chooses you, you will tragically squander your entire existence endlessly craving external validation that should, by all rights, blossom vibrantly from within you. A wise woman who confidently lives alone, unattached by conventional definition, already embodies this profound truth. She knows, deep in her bones, that she is not passively biding her time, waiting for someone to bestow upon her purpose, to inject joy into her life, or to define her very identity. No, she has already unlocked all of that from within. She has painstakingly constructed her unwavering peace, discovered her unique rhythm, articulated her ambitious goals, and ignited her own inner light. And if, and only if, someone truly exceptional enters her orbit, that person must undeniably add to this already radiant existence, never becoming the sole reason it thrives. You, courageous woman, must first become your own unshakable foundation before you ever invite anyone to build alongside you. Because if you enter any relationship believing, he's going to make me happy, or he's going to fix all my broken pieces, then baby, you have already forfeited your power. That tragically is not love. That is suffocating dependency. That is willingly handing over the reins of your own magnificent life to another, gambling on their goodwill, and desperately hoping they won't misuse that sacred power. Let me be unequivocally clear. Being complete is not synonymous with rigid perfection. You are a perpetually evolving masterpiece, continually growing, ceaselessly learning, courageously healing. But that vibrant journey of becoming does not, in any way, equate to being incomplete. You can be a glorious work in progress and simultaneously know, with fierce certainty, that you are powerfully, inherently whole. That, my friends, is the bedrock truth that truly strong women live by, ingrained in their very being. They are not idly waiting for a man to hand them an identity. They forge their own path, know precisely who they are, long before he ever crosses their threshold. When you profoundly know you are complete, the very landscape of your relationships undergoes a breathtaking metamorphosis. You are no longer frantically chasing love. You are gracefully, generously sharing the abundant love that already overflows within you. There is an enormous critical difference. You are not begging to be seen, desperately craving recognition. No, you are already boldly standing, unequivocally centered in your radiant worth. You are not bending yourself into unnatural shapes, contorting your spirit just to be chosen, because you have already irrevocably chosen yourself. And when you courageously operate from that elevated space of self-possession, you inevitably attract a profoundly different, more resonant energy. You gain the keenest clarity, seeing with sharp precision, who genuinely aligns with your spirit and who is merely lurking, eager to take opportunistic advantage of your magnificent shine. Observe this crucial dynamic. When you are unaware of your own magnificent wholeness, you become susceptible to settling for any fragmented crumb of attention thrown your way. You will, agonizingly, tolerate situations you have absolutely no business enduring. You'll tragically convince yourself that "at least he's here" is somehow preferable to "I am living in profound peace." But when you are fiercely, unequivocally aware of your own completeness, the game changes entirely. You cease the desperate chase for external validation. You don't humble yourself, begging for basic clarity. You certainly don't hand out precious second chances like meaningless candy. Instead, you walk with your head held high, radiating an undeniable, sovereign truth. If I choose to walk away from this, I will be more than fine. I was whole, vibrant, and capable long before you ever arrived, and I will continue to thrive long after you depart. Now, let me speak directly to every phenomenal woman who stands alone right now, dwelling in her own space, fiercely independent, meticulously caring for herself, waking up each day with no one beside her. Your solitary journey does not, in any way, signify that you are unfinished. It certainly does not mean something is inherently missing from your magnificent existence. You are not paused in some barren waiting room, holding your breath for your real life to finally begin. This is your life, pulsating and vibrant, right here, right now. And it is utterly, exquisitely yours to fill, with boundless joy, with profound purpose, with abundant love, a love that irrevocably originates and flourishes within you. A relationship should never be your genesis, your starting point for existing. It should be a delightful, luxurious bonus, like the exquisite icing on a beautifully baked cake. You wouldn't attempt to subsist solely on icing, would you? The cake itself must be robust, rich, and solid first. You, my dear, are the magnificent cake. A man, then, is the delightful, optional extra meant to enhance, not define. But here's the insidious problem. Far too many individuals are desperately trying to build a life on nothing but icing, then wondering why their souls perpetually ache with hunger. You must cultivate the art of being your own fierce, unwavering best friend. Learn to confidently take yourself out, treat yourself with reverence. Discover how to sit in profound silence and find it utterly devoid of emptiness. Learn to unabashedly celebrate every victory, every milestone, big or small. Learn to wholeheartedly applaud your own journey, your own magnificent self. This is not self-indulgent. It is absolutely, profoundly necessary. Because when you truly master the art of loving your own company, you conquer the corrosive fear of being alone. And when that primal fear dissipates, you automatically cease tolerating halfway, lukewarm love simply to avoid the illusion of loneliness. Let me articulate this with unwavering clarity. When you embody your inherent completeness, you irrevocably elevate the standard not just for others, but for yourself. Suddenly, a man can no longer simply rely on good looks or smooth, practiced words. He must genuinely match your vibrant energy. He must deeply respect your sacred space. He must contribute profound peace, not complicate your life with endless problems. Because, precious one, you are no longer passively searching for a savior. You are actively seeking a true, co-creating partner. And let me assure you, there is an oceanic difference between the two. So no, you emphatically do not need someone to complete you. You are not a solitary missing piece. You are not a fragile love story waiting to begin. You, my glorious creation, are already the entire captivating book filled with chapters of resilience, wisdom, and self-love. And anyone who dares to step into the narrative of your life better come prepared to diligently read the magnificent chapters you have already so powerfully written, not attempt to presumptuously rewrite them. Never ever let the relentless noise of the world persuade you that you are somehow behind merely because you stand alone. You are not behind schedule, precious soul. You are majestically becoming. You are profoundly healing. You are exponentially growing. And most profoundly, you are living from a boundless, radiant place of unshakable fullness. A sacred space where the love you generously pour forth isn't birthed from a hollow lack, but surges forth from an overflowing wellspring of abundance. So when, and only when, someone walks into your life, it will not be because you need them to stitch you together and make you whole. It will be because your glorious, inherent completeness has powerfully and intentionally made space for a being who truly, deeply fits. Never, ever just fixes. Thank you for listening. Keep owning your power.